Supervisor Ritchie, can you press your present button? Roll call shows that we have 22 members present and 4 absent.
All right. This meeting and all other meetings of this board are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin statutes so that the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. Please join me in taking a moment of silence, meditation this morning to reflect on and pray for the families and victims of the devastating California fires that could happen anywhere, even here in Waupaca County. So please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, next, approve the agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda, the amended agenda? Supervisor Zog?
I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you. Second, Supervisor Strayhurt?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion's been made second to approve the amended agenda. Any questions or discussions? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Schauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. Next, motion to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2024. Supervisor Yeager. Thank you. Is there a second? Supervisor Mangowski.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of December 17th, 2024. Any discussion, changes, questions on the minutes? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Schauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. All right, moving on to resolutions. We have resolution number 48, 2024-2025, donation acceptance nutrition program.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Waupaca County Board of Supervisors accepts $5,000 from the Victor and Christine Anthony Family Foundation for the purpose of supporting Waupaca County Senior Nutrition Program.
Is there a motion? Supervisor Vasquez?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Second, Supervisor Zog?
Second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution number 48. Any questions or discussions? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Schauer, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 49, 2024-2025. Resolution encouraging and requesting continuing the current recall, if I pronounce that correctly, services at ThedaCare Medical Center in Waupaca. Is there a motion? Supervisor Vasquez? Excuse me, excuse a second.
Therefore, let it be resolved that the Wapaka County Board of Supervisors, in support of the health care of the citizens of Wapaka County, hereby requests and recommends TheaterCare Medical Center Wapaka continue to provide complete obstetrical services for patients residing in Wapaka County.
Okay, now, sir, a motion. Supervisor Vasquez?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Second, Supervisor Yeager? Thank you. Any discussion, questions? Supervisor Fedorowicz?
Mr. Chairman, I'm just wondering, how did this particular one arrive here?
Jed, you want to handle it? Or Kristen?
In the last year, TheaterCare had announced, TheaterCare Wapaka announced that they were gonna end their service for labor and delivery at the Wapaka Healthcare Clinic. The city of Wapaka Council approved a very similar resolution to support and encourage those services stay at that healthcare center. And this is a resolution recommended by the Board of Health and Elgis Committee to support having those services remain at the Wapaka TheaterCare Clinic.
I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? If not, thank you, Jed. Right, and let's vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 21-1.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 50, 2024, 2025, cancellation of outstanding checks prior to January 1st, 2024.
Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Wapaka that the attached list to the resolution of outstanding checks be canceled.
Is there a motion? Supervisor Yeager?
I'll make it.
Thank you. Is there a second? Supervisor Muck?
I'll second that motion.
Supervisor, okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion on resolution number 50? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution number 51, 2024, 2025, the 2025 budget amendment, NG 911, orthoimagery project.
Now therefore be it resolved that the 2025 budget be amended to increase land information outlay, imaging equipment outlay line 11-13-51740, sub 855.0, and state grants and aid line item 11-13-43514, sub 1035.0, to fund the upgrade to the 3-inch imagery.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Supervisor Yeager?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Supervisor Miller?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion or questions on resolution number 51? Supervisor Spearings, did you have a question or discussion?
Fancy word on there. I had to ask to get it explained. Is there somebody here that can explain? I know what it is now, but can somebody explain what that really is? Because it's a pretty fancy word.
Mark?
Mark
who's
Souther?
coming up?
Good morning. So what this is again, every 5 years, if you've used our county maps, the flyover, it's done a grid, flyover every spring. We use that for mapping, zoning uses it extensively. So every 5 years we have that. This year through a grant, we were able to improve that from 6-inch pixels to 3-inch. So it's basically just gonna draw it in even closer. So that was, an opportunity we have with via grant. So this spring, when they do the flyover, it'll have even advanced technology. And when we have the mapping to work with, probably gets delivered in the fall of next year. What you see in our mapping will be even more distinct and clear and closer. So basically, I'm not sure which word, if it's the imagery. But basically that's what that is. Correct. We basically are getting a 3-inch for the same price as what we would have paid for the 6-inch via the grant.
Any other questions? Supervisor Way, did you have a question or just a second? Supervisor Zog? Good, okay, no other question. Any other questions or discussion? Thank you, Mark. All right, now let's vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. Next, moving on to ordinances, we have ordinance 2025-826, amendment to chapter 34, petition number Z001, 2025, Town of Railton, Robert U. Hardy, for a zone map amendment from the rural residential RR district to the rural commercial neighborhood RC-N district. Ryan?
Yes. Morning. Yeah, so what the Mr. U Hardy's looking at doing, he's going to be extending his business to a lot that he owns across the street. Currently, that lot is not zoned; it's zoned rural residential. In order for him to be able to extend his business onto that, we need to first go through the zone map amendment to rural commercial neighborhood.
Okay. Is there a motion? Supervisor Fedorowicz?
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Thank you. Is there a second? Supervisor Yeager?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 2025-826. Any questions or discussions? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Thank you. Next, we have ordinance 2025-827, amendment to chapter 34, petition number Z002, 2025, Town of Scandinavia, James Nygaard, for a zone map amendment on part of a parcel from the agricultural enterprise AE district to the rural residential overlay RR-O district. Brian?
Yes. So this is a property owned by Supervisor Nygaard. So right now, you see on the map there, they see the entire property that is currently zoned Ag Enterprise or AE. And what he is looking at doing, there we go. So the area that's in yellow with the cross hatching on it, the rural residential overlay. So what we're looking at doing is going to be creating a lot there. Since it is within farm preservation, that's where he's getting the zone map amendment to take it to a rural residential overlay. He will be using one development right in this process.
Okay. Is there a motion? Supervisor Yeager? Krieger? I'm sorry. Supervisor Krieger. Thank you. Second, Supervisor Muck?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay.
The map is upside down.
Yeah. He didn't remember.
I thought I saw your name.
Yeah,
You will second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions or discussions on ordinance 2025-827? Supervisor Wade, did you have a question? Okay. Very good. Any questions or discussion? Not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes, and thank you.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to contracts, we have RFP 24-20-18, carpet removal and replacement, Wapaka County lease space to award the contract to JW Flooring, Green Bay, Wisconsin, with a submitted bid of $52,750. Is there a motion? Supervisor Yeager? Thank you. Second, Supervisor Vasquez.
Second that.
Motion has been made, and seconded to approve contract RFP 24-20-18. Any questions or discussions on that? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 22-0.
Okay, moving on to reports. We have the County Board Chair monthly report. First of all, thank you, Christy, for the wonderful treats. I haven't gotten to all of them yet, but the ones I did sample were very good. Next, I want to thank you for the well wishes for my wife. She had both knees replaced last week, is at home doing fine. I, on the other hand, I'm a total mess. If your spouse is going to have both knees replaced, prepare for a whole new vocabulary coming from them. My wife's advice today is you think about having both knees done at the same time. Think again. She now understands why you want to keep at least one good leg to stand on. Well, anyway, next, Annie Carlin, would you please come up? And Kevin Peterson, could you join us up front? So first of all, Andy, or as he's known in the paper, the Master of Disaster. As you folks know, Andy will be leaving us, and this will be his last meeting. On behalf of the taxpayers and residents of Wapaka County, I would really like to thank you for your many years of dedicated service to the county. And now I think our representative, Kevin Peterson, has a few words to add.
Thank you. I'm honored to be with you again this morning. Unfortunately, you have another person with a lot of experience leaving. Second month in a row I've been here, but I've looked at the replacement for both the Register of Deeds and for the emergency management, and you did excellent picks on who you're going to replace them with, but it's still, you're losing a vast amount of knowledge. So the state of Wisconsin, citation, Emergency Management Director Andrew Carlin. Whereas Emergency Management Director Andrew Carlin started with the county hazmat team in 1996. He became the Wapaka County Emergency Management Director on March 6, 2002. And whereas Emergency Management Director Carlin always worked closely with community stakeholders. Throughout his 22 years of service, he attended city, village, and town meetings and met with law enforcement, EMS, and fire departments, providing him with information on the needs of their communities. And whereas Emergency Management Director Carlin believes that emergency management is a support agency, using the philosophy that meeting with people on blue sky days is better than showing up on the worst days of their lives. He feels emergency management assets in identifying needs and aid in connecting dots, acting as cheerleaders to push the ball up the hill. And whereas during his tenure, Emergency Management Director Carlin has worked through 12 tornadoes, a white powder anthrax scare, several missing persons, record snowfall, power outages, and an earthquake. And by the way, Wapaka County had the first recorded earthquake in Wisconsin. Most recently, he assisted with the dam failure in Manawa. And whereas the Wapaka County Sheriff stated, Emergency Management Director Carlin will be greatly missed by the Wapaka County Sheriff's Office and the citizens of Wapaka County, especially due to his vast knowledge of emergency management and the idiosyncrasies of working in a rural community. And whereas Emergency Management Director Carlin, after honorably serving his community, will be retiring on January 29th, 2025. Along with his wife, Chris, he plans on enjoying his retirement traveling and spending more time on his motorcycle. Now, therefore be it resolved, the members of the Wisconsin State Legislature, on behalf of Representative Kevin Peterson and Senator Rachel Cabral Guarva, hereby honor Emergency Management Director Andrew Carlin for his 22 years of exemplary service to Wapaka County. We congratulate him and join Chris, his family, friends, and the community in wishing him a long and happy retirement. Signed, State Representative Kevin Peterson. Signed, Senator Rachel Cabral Guarva. We dated it January 29th, 2025, State Capitol, Madison, Wisconsin. Nice.
Well, like always, I didn't prepare a speech. I just make it up as I go. It's kind of funny hearing all the different disasters and stuff we went out on over the years. That's a lot. I've had a great time here. I've had all the support I could ever have for county board. I don't know if Mandy remembers when she hired me years ago. I came in for my first interview and I left thinking that was horrible. I was really, they were asking me a lot of job specific questions about emergency management. I was a paramedic. I didn't know. She called and offered a second interview. And I said, "You're kidding me, right?" I said, "That was the worst interview I've ever given. And you want me back?" So second interview went better. And then she called and offered me the job. And I really liked being a paramedic. So I didn't answer her right away. And it took, I don't know, it was a little while. And then she finally called me and says, "Are you going to take the job or not?" So I'm glad I did. I look back, it's been a great career. The best part about it, it's just all the people I got to meet. I got to meet so many people, got to work all over the state, helping other counties, helping the state out. And it's been fun. Now, Kevin says in here about what I'm going to do when I retire. So for a little while, I got to say that I'm not going to have a lot of fun because Chris isn't retiring yet. And I got to make it sound like it's really not that big a deal, but I look forward to having fun. So, and I appreciate everything everybody's done. I've had the best boards. We go to our meetings and I hear how other counties are running stuff. And we're real fortunate here. We're fortunate how things run here. I've had a fantastic board. I've had all the support that I've ever wanted from any of the communities we work for the county. And it's been fun. And you look at through these disasters, we made it through every disaster, about everyone you can imagine in the Midwest. I didn't have any floods. That man will have them. So we hit pretty much all of them. We checked all the boxes and it's been fun. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And again, we sure will miss you, but I'm sure Zach will do a great job for us. Okay, just a few other comments here. First of all, in late February, I and a number of supervisors will be attending Wisconsin Counties Association Legislative Conference. And based on past conferences, I anticipate meeting and talking to a number of legislators. Therefore, especially for department heads and so forth, I would love to be able to pull out a cheat sheet with a list of items that you folks would love to see changed or enacted in Madison. I want to thank Melissa Anderson, who has already sent me a list with several pages explaining why the items on the list are important. And Jeremy Schenke, real estate transfer fees was on his list. So again, If you have something that you would like to see changed in Madison, if you could email me your list and I'll add it to my cheat sheet, and I would appreciate that. And finally, I would like to thank all of you, the folks that actually showed up this morning. When Chris and I were talking, I was hopeful that we'd have at least a handful here, and I was really shocked to see the parking lot as full as it was, and all you folks that did show up, staff and supervisors. So again, thank you for coming in this morning. That's my report. Vice Chair Nygaard, anything to add?
Well, we missed the snow where we were Sunday. Baton Rouge, they've got snowstorm there today. And it sounds like nobody there's ever seen snow in their lifetime there before. And here we just got showers and about 48 degrees now. So this week's going to be a little cool here. My heart goes out to all of you. Stay safe and stay warm, and hopefully this cold spell you got there won't last too long.
Very good. Thank you, Vice Chair Nygaard. Next, transportation update. Jess Betts Nelson, see online. Jess, are you there?
I am. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And your words of wisdom for us this morning?
My words of wisdom, stay warm. That's the long and the short of it. So Chair Morak actually invited me to give you guys an update on the transportation efforts. Christy, do you have the heat map by any chance that I shared with Dave?
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. I do not have that.
Okay. I do have that heat map that I can share with you. I can email it out to Chair Morak and he can get it out to everyone. But I just wanted to give an update and let everyone know that since we began the program in December of 2022, we have provided 16,103 rides to residents and community members in Wapaka County. Just since the 1st of January, as of yesterday morning, we have provided 421 rides within Wapaka County. We are supporting roughly 76 individual business partners throughout the county. And we are partnering with not only Wapaka Taxi right in Wapaka, but we're also partnering with the Wapaka ADRC, the Senior Volunteer Program, and then Make the Ride Happen, providing rides. We do have 2 active volunteers who are providing rides within Wapaka County. So those individuals have started providing rides for individuals, allowing our paid drivers to increase the capacity for individuals within the county. And as many of you know, the county has actually applied for the 5311 funding. We have also applied for several other funding opportunities to keep the program sustainable after the grants sunsets in June of 2025. And we are continuing to do rider surveys for each rider who takes a ride with us. They receive an email or a text message to give their feedback. I can provide that information for you guys also if you would like. And I think that's about all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions for Jess? I guess not. Well, thank you for a good update.
Perfect. You guys stay warm.
Okay, thank you. As Lee mentioned, at least mosquitoes aren't too bad this morning, so we were good to go. All right, Veteran Service Annual Report, Jesse Cuff.
Good morning. If that works. Did anyone receive written report this morning. If anyone didn't, please raise your hand. I'll make sure to come around and make sure you get a copy. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to speak with you this morning. Give you a brief overview. Of course, the presentation this morning is a brief overview of the written report that you have before you. I promise I won't take the remainder of the time this morning going over page by page of what you have before you. I'll leave you to your own devices on that. There we go. As you know, my name is Jesse Cuff. I'm your County Veteran Service Officer, and I am supported by one Cindy Roloff, Craig Hockenstead, and Dan Weirigs. And that is the heart and soul of the County Veteran Service Office. And we are honored to perform our sacred duty of supporting the veterans and their dependents here in Waupaca County. Our commitment is to work with and provide all possible assistance to everyone who's eligible for benefits and services here in Waupaca County, some 4,000 veterans and their dependents. Often forgotten are the dependents, which are the widows, spouses, and children of the veterans living here and transiting through Waupaca County, including some who will eventually find their way into the Veterans Homemaking. As you can see, we deliver benefits and services, and this is just a snapshot of what some of that interaction looks like. And the bottom line up front is we attempt to deliver enhanced quality of life. In 2024, this is a quote of just one quote of what some of our clients said about what our office delivered. I'll allow you to read that. Where do some of our veterans live? Well, this is a scattering of where our veterans live throughout the county. This is not changed much over the years, and you'll find this information in our written report as well. And should you have any questions on that, it's pretty self-explanatory, and it mirrors where our population centers are throughout the county. This is our statutory obligation to report to you how we expend the tax levied funds for emergency grant expenditures for the county. Primarily, we expend these funds on housing related expenses. Housing, transportation, utilities, things of that nature. As veterans fall into low or fixed income situations and they have emergent financial needs, they come to us and we help them with those needs. We welcomed this year Lee Muck onto the commission, and Chair Morak rolled off of our commission after several years serving on our commission. Once again this year, we lit up the county building green in honor of our veterans. It looked very stately and good. And we continue to do that with the support of our Ron Hansen and his maintenance team, and they do a wonderful job of making sure that that happens for the week of Veterans Day. And that looks fantastic. We will continue to do that. And of course, you can see some of the touch points that our office has with our veteran and eligible dependent community as well. And probably one of the most important slides we have is just some of the touch points that we have on the human side of what our office does and offers to the community. on a daily basis. Our office interacts with veterans, widows, and dependents, making not only human contacts, personal contacts, but quality of life improvements each and every day. And that's a little bit about what our office did in 2024. And with your support, what we'll continue to do. Happy to take any questions.
Yeah. Okay, question, Supervisor Fedorowicz?
Mr. Chairman, straight haired here and myself, we were talking before the meeting started and the question came up. If a veteran dies, has no funeral, does the flag still get passed over to the spouse somehow or not? And we both come with the conclusion we didn't know.
I apologize. Say that again. If there's no next of kin and there's a spouse?
No, if the veteran dies, but there's no funeral,
Sure. Yep.
does the flag still get passed? I remember my
Yep.
father-in-law, my wife was the oldest and the flag got passed to her. So
Sure.
we're just thinking if there's no funeral or nothing, we didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's becoming more and more common. So as you can see in the written report, we have the TAPs, and the TAPs listing, you'll see more and more cremated interments or cremated and cremains retained by the family. And so in that case, the next of kin, whether it be a spouse or a child, there's an order of succession in which the burial flag is retained by the family. The next of kin always gets a burial flag, unless there's an extenuating circumstance in which the person is not authorized to bury a flag. But yes, they will be authorized to bury a flag, and the next of kin will be able to retain that flag. Our office will fold the flag for them and give them the flag, or if they have a ceremony, a small private ceremony, and there's still a military funeral honors provided, they will be provided a folded flag, and they will be able to retain the flag. Does that answer your question for you? Yes. So flag will be provided. They'll be able to retain the flag. Someone will get the flag. Yep. Good question.
Legion program in Marion does that service for services.
Yep.
So the state contacts me. I have a firing squad of 6 to 10 guys, and the flag can be folded by a professional, what I call professionals in service, or because we don't have the guys that are very good at folding it, will be folded prior to, and then we will hand it out to the family right at the funeral, at the firing. So it can be done both ways.
Yep. And we had an interesting case this year where, in fact, unfortunately, Craig and I attended a service out at the Veterans Home in King. We had 6 veterans with no next of kin remaining. And so we stood in, along with several other veterans, as next of kin, and those flags were folded, and we received those flags. And we donated those back to the program out at King, and those flags will be reused and retained for the program, and we'll go to another next of kin as well. Yep.
Thank you. Other questions, Supervisor Straher?
I'm just curious, if a veteran lives in a different county, say Shawano County, are they still eligible to move to King? Or is it only people that live in Wapaka County that are veterans?
That used to be the case, but now it is open nationwide eligibility. So anyone in the nation can eventually make their way to King. Yep. Good question. Thank you. Yep.
Any other questions? Supervisor Wingolski?
I heard of a situation a few months back of a veteran that's buried in the Big Falls Cemetery, and all they have is a little thing there. know that, I think Marion Tigerton has been trying to get a gravestone out there, but apparently he has no family and it just has never happened yet. And
How long ago was that one? Cause I think we got one of those this summer before,
it was probably last summer that I
yeah,
heard about it.
I think if you drove up there right now, you might find a brand new marker up there for that one.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yep, you betcha.
any other questions for Jesse? All right, not great report. And again, I want to say thank you, Jesse, to
pleasure.
Craig and Cindy as well as a one of your recipients, whatever, of your services. Thank you. All right, moving on then to UW Extension Impact Statement. Chris Val. Jeremy had to leave, and so we're moving on from the Register of Deeds report.
All right, good morning. About 3 times a year, myself or the team from Extension have an opportunity to just take a couple of moments of your time to point out some of the impact that our education and outreach programs have to the whole, the Wapaka community and the areas beyond. So each of you have a copy of our Extension Impact in your packet. And there's opportunities for you to dig a little deeper. But this morning, I wanted to just share some of the partnerships, the connections, and the education that's happening. So on the cover, Christy Gabrilska and Haley Paul shared a little bit about their work with the Wisconsin Food Hub Cooperative. And they're working together as a community team and partnership to connect a variety of different resources to provide opportunities for youth audiences to have more access to locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. So partnering with some grant programs and the mission of the Wisconsin Food Hub Cooperative, connecting them with school, Manawa, Clintonville, and New London food service providers to ensure that there is more access to fresh, locally grown foods to youth who are participating in the lunch program. The education portion is a program called Harvest of the Month. It's a program in which there's education that occurs in classrooms that highlights locally available foods that youth are both taught about the foods, they try the foods, and then in the situations, especially with the Wisconsin Food Hub Cooperative, the schools have those foods at their as part of their lunch program, so the youth are able to not only try them but actually eat them as part of their nutritious lunch meals. You can see the quote from our Lincoln Elementary principal that he has observed a significant or a large increase of the amount of fresh vegetables that the students have been willing to taste and enjoy because of the partnership. The other piece is on that same is the small example of that partnership. The small image in the corner is a picture of the refrigerator that is at the Wapaka County Library Little Free Food Pantry. And that is part of the partnership with the Wisconsin Food Hub Cooperative. And that shows a drop off of after they've been able to provide that refrigerator that is available to anyone who is able to have access to the library, that they can open the refrigerator and take out some of this fresh, locally grown food to them at no expense to them. So again, many cases, and as it's illustrated, that our extension educators not only they primarily provide an education role, but also a significant role they provide is connecting individuals to other partners so that these programs can have the impact where we really want them, and that's the residents and the youth of the community. Also, I wanted to share that one of our team members Amy Ebert has achieved certification in Real Colors Real Colors is a workshop that allows workshop participants to learn more about their teamwork, improve their communication skills, understand themselves, and understand individuals that they're working with or surrounded by. Amy recently had an opportunity to facilitate a workshop with staff from the County Aging Disability Resource Center, of which they highly valued their participation. The other thing to point out is that with Amy being a Real Colors facilitator, there are opportunities for county, both county groups, boards, commissions, departments to benefit from the Real Colors program, and also so some of our communities, community organizations and programs, with us being able to provide special rates because the resources do require a little bit of investment, but we're able to include that as part of our outreach programming. So if you are interested, the contact information for Amy by email is available on the back page of our newsletter. Also, you can use the phone, you can stop by our office, at least for the next little bit until we find out where our new location is going to be. You can call, or for those of you that are quick, Amy's actually in the back of the room. So you can actually bump into her and ask her questions if that Real Colors might be right for you. Really super excited to share an update from Alicia Yutke. Alicia is new to Waupaca County in our extension office as of last August. So she started with us. She's highlighting a workshop that she facilitated called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. This is a 6-week evidence-based program that helps participants improve self-care, manage emotions, and find supportive resources. These are individuals that are providing care for others, and oftentimes in a variety of different situations. Strong participant feedback showing the positive aspects of that program. In addition to being able to offer programs such as this, Alicia is part of the Waupaca County Caregiver Coalition. That is a group of individuals to support networks to strengthen local networks to be able to ensure that the needs of caregivers and the individuals that they're caring for, are met. Additionally, Jesse also shared another program that Alicia is working with in cooperation with the Veterans Office, planning ahead to provide some, again, another evidence-based multi-session program that really walks through or helps individuals think about the things that they're going to need to do or plan ahead as they make life transitions. And in many cases, those tips and techniques are not necessarily received as early as they should be for individuals, so that they can have an impact or a positive impact on their family or themselves. Additionally, and last but not least, Penny Tank shared a little bit about winter camp. So maybe not a weekend like we had this last weekend, but recently Penny and some other 4-H educators across northeastern Wisconsin hosted 40 youth at Spencer Lake Camp in Waupaca to have the focused leadership program based on some curriculum that they utilized from our friends at Nebraska 4-H. They had a lot of hands-on interactive workshops, a lot of fun, some good food, and in many cases, the evaluations are still being tallied, but the overall feedback is very positive. Youth appreciate being able to meet with their peers, other 4-H members from across the 8 counties that participated. Many cases, they develop lasting friendships, and they have an opportunity then to go back into their schools or communities, homes, and 4-H clubs to be able to practice those leadership skills that they learned as part of this camp. So those are the highlights that I have for you this time around. Happy to answer any questions or listen to any comments that you might have.
Supervisor Fedorowicz?
Chris, what I'm going to say kind of weighs on my mind here the last couple of years. It's been in the news, it's been all over, and you talked about education. In the United States, believe it or not, 1/3 of all the food is wasted, goes to the landfills and compost. What are we doing? We can't get it down to zero, but when I look at countries like Israel or Ukraine or other places right now that probably wish they had an ant to eat, let alone a crumb of bread. What are we doing to try to educate our young people? And I see it at all ages, where we take one bite and throw it in the garbage. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So a couple of things, and I realize that, right, this problem is much bigger, but here's what some of the things that Extension is trying to do. So one of the pieces through some of those similar efforts that Christy and Haley mentioned through our FoodWise program is to engage with the food service directors and see if there are opportunities for them to have something similar, what might be called a share table. Some of the school lunches, there are requirements of what individuals have to take, and they may, for one reason or another, not either want to eat that or be able to eat that. So if there's opportunities that they're able to share them with other their classmates that would be able to benefit from that, so reducing waste. Another key piece is part of the local food. By having fresh access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Not only are those more nutritious, and in youth are the kids are able to wanting to be willing to more try it. Those foods are also more compostable and able to be utilized in other ways. So those two work hand in hand. So by having fresh fruits and vegetables, there are opportunities. We really would love for the youth to consume all of them because it's good for them. They're healthy and nutritious, but also considering that they would be, have increased compostability to be able to use in a variety of different ways. So those are just two very quick ways that our extension team is having a direct impact, especially with our youth.
Thank you. Any other questions for Chris? Seeing none?
Thank you.
Chris. All right. Moving on to appointments. First, we have designation of head of emergency management pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 323.14, subsection 1, subsection AE. 2, the Wapaka County Board of Supervisors to approve Zachary Van Asten as Director of Wapaka County Emergency Management. Is there a motion? Supervisor Vasquez?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second? Supervisor Spearings?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded for Zach to be our Wisconsin Director of Wapaka County Emergency Management. Any discussion, questions? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Last chance to vote. That carries 20-0.
Thank you. Welcome aboard, Zach. Next appointment, reappoint Penny Leader and Bill Abba as citizen members to the Board of Adjustment for a term expiring June 2027. Is there a motion to that effect? Supervisor Vasquez?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Second, Supervisor Strayhurt.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded for reappointing Penny Leader and Bill Abba as citizen members. Any questions or discussions? If not, please vote.
Supervisor Brissett, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Shower, how do you vote?
Yes.
Supervisor Nygaard, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Supervisor Hardy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, can I do voice vote? Supervisor Seuss, how do you vote? Last chance to vote. That carries 20-0.
Thank you. Moving on to announcements, correspondence. You have in your packet Veteran Service Temporary Office Location. Jesse, you want to say just a few words, where you're located or anything? Sure. Particularly for the value of our audience who might be watching.
Certainly effective February 3rd, our office will be relocated out, thanks to our friends in the highway shop, out to the county highway shop on A there near the Fleet Farm. And in order to accommodate some of the remodeling that's going to be happening here at the courthouse.
Real
That's all
good. Thank you.
Thank
you. All right, and then under B, County Board of Supervisors, temporary meeting location, Waupaca County Fairgrounds.
So to be determined when we will be moving out there. It could possibly be as early as February. I'll make sure that everybody is well aware if we're able to move out there at that point. We're just waiting on doing some testing with the internet. I believe Spectrum was out there last week. And I'm sorry. So anyhow, once we're able to move out to the fairgrounds, I'll make sure that everybody's well aware.
Any questions on that? Okay, and finally, Waupaca County Official Paper of the Year, Clintonville Tribune Gazette. Information's in the announcements and correspondence. And with that, okay, one thing to add.
So just to add for the paper of the year, if supervisors, if you're subscribing to that paper and you want to be reimbursed for that, just bring in proof that you paid and then we will reimburse you for the paper of the year.
Oh, good deal. All right, and finally, motion to adjourn. Supervisor Muck.
I so move.
We are adjourned. Thank you again, y'all, for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for Zooming.
Thank you, supervisors on Zoom.
You
Thank
did
you
a good
very
job,
much.
Christy, again.